I'm going to do today, just a quick go on Syniro, and I was going to meso it, but then I decided actually I'm just going to bap it, but I'm just going to do a slightly kind of modified bap technique. So I do have I did buy like a surgical marker, and it actually came with a little ruler, quite handy. But this is so hard to get off. And like when you've done a treatment, then obviously you don't kind of want to be rubbing the area loads, but you're like getting alcohol wipes and trying to get it off, but trying to rub it off without, you know, pressing on the bit you've just injected. Because when I did this around my eyes, it was an absolute nightmare. I decided, I was like, it's fine. I work from home. When I'm on Teams, I'm far enough away from the camera. They're probably not going to see that I've got lots of veins, because I'd used this pen to draw on the veins. But it was so hard to get off. I just kind of thought, right, I'm just going to live with it, deal with it. And then just over the next few days, when I'm washing my face, just, gently kind of do it. But, so right now, I'm not going to do that. I've got some washable markers just to quickly show you. So I'm going to show you where I'm going to do it. And then I can, because obviously you don't want to use something like this when you're actually doing a procedure, because they're dirty. But I'm just going to do it and then wash it off and, cleanse my face and then put on the numbing cream. I mean, I'm still using this actually, it's lasted for ages. How much have I got left? I've still got loads left. Although I should actually check, because obviously it's all in Korean so I can't read it, to see whether it does say throw away after 30 days after opening or something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to use the Syniro. I'll show you all the information about it when I do my other kind of little talky bit, but I'll wait and I'll maybe do it in a week, just so you can kind of see what the results are, or at least I'll know a little bit more what the results are. But I did have a look at the box, and then inside it said it's got 2.2 mils in each needle, because it's got 2. But when products say that, it's always at least 2.2. So I checked, and both of these actually have 2.4. So at least I've got a wee bit extra. So I'm gonna just do does this work? Yes, it works. So when you do the back technique, obviously it's just the 5 points. So the first point, and because it comes with a ruler, where's 2 centimeters? So 2 centimeters is just that much. And then so the first one is the zygomatic protrusion, and you just go out 2 centimeters. But the thing about the BAP is you need to be in the area, but you don't need to be precise. So you can shift it a little bit, because one of the main main advantages of BAP technique is bruising and stuff is cut down, because that's why that's why I decided not to meso it, because if I'm injecting all of my face, the chances of somewhere getting a bruise is quite high. So I thought I might be a bit safer and stick to the BAP. Plus the good thing about Syniro is vascular occlusion isn't possible, so even if you do inject a vein, it's kind of a waste of product, because it's not going to be where you want it to be and doing what you want it to do. But the worst you'll get is a bruise, so you're not gonna cause any permanent damage or anything, but you still don't want a bruise. But anyway, so rather than just going 2 centimeters out, I'm just gonna go down a wee smidgen as well, because I know that I've injected here before and I've been fine. But when I did the juvie eyes, I think, yeah, this bit, plus of course you've got nerves here as well, but this bit I think I was more likely to bruise, so I'm just going to shift it down a smidge. So I'm just going to kind of do somewhere around about there. I mean, I'll measure it properly later when I'm doing it, but this time, it doesn't really matter. But so 2 centimeters across from the zygomatic protrusion, which is the corner of your eye. And the first time I did it, I think I actually stayed, I didn't shift, I stayed in the straight line at 2 centimeters. So the other one is anterior from the tragus, a centimeter, and the tragus is just this wee bit. And then so it's just kind of, round about here. The nasal fold is, I noticed in my other video I was saying doing this fold, just no idea what I was thinking. The nasal fold is upside the fold of your nose, and then I think it was 2 centimeters across. So you kind of just draw a line from the nasal fold, to the tragus, and then draw a line down from the center of your pupil when you're looking forward. So it's kind of and then, can I draw it on the monitor? Because it's backwards. Wow, that circle is massive. But you get the point. So go from the nasal fold draw a straight line to the tragus, that wee kind of cartilage bit, and then look straight forward and just kind of from the centre of your pupil. But again, if you've injected here, you know, before and it's get a bruising, shift across. So, I mean, I'm kind of like way down here. I don't want to be, I want to be, there you go. Checkmate my age and I still can't figure out my left from right just because it's in the mirror. Well, that'll be more interesting. But anyway, yep, so that's the nasal one. The other one is the labial commissure. Wait, I didn't know I was a labial on my face. But yeah, so you just draw a line from the centre and then about a third of the way down, draw another line, and then I think it was 1.5 centimetres across. So what kind of, you know, whatever. That one's way off. But I'll put up the image anyway so you can see the text. So just draw a straight line down the middle, a third of the way up, draw a line, and it's 1.5, 1.5. To get everywhere. Oh, the mandibular angle. Oh my lord, I can't even see what face I'm on. The mandibular angle is obviously just that right angle, up by centre. But the slight kind of alteration to this I'm going to do is I'm going to add in 2 additional points on my forehead. So I'm just going to kind of go, again, straight from my pupil, whatever that ends up being, and then kind of just halfway. So that there, whatever that is. And I'm just gonna, well, that's, I can't even draw my face. How bad is that? Although kind of fun. Blah, 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 blah. Psychopath. But yeah, so the 2 extra points I'm gonna do is just on my forehead to kind of give it a wee bit. I do kind of want to do my neck, but I've not actually researched into doing my neck. And obviously there's a lot of dangerous stuff down there. So I was like, I'm not ready to, I'm not just going to do it willy-nilly without first doing loads of research on where to do it. I mean, this kind of stuff, you know, as long as it's staying in the skin, it's not going to cause vascular occlusion, so I'm fine. But still, I still like to do research anyway. But still, so at least for the first, this instance, I'm going to bap it again. But rather than just doing this bit, I'm also going to do my forehead. So I'm going to do the 2 extra points here and here. Now, because it's 2.4 mil, that at least means, in essence, I've got my 2 mils. So I'll just do 1 mil on this side, 1 mil on that side, 0.2 on each, so it kind of adds up. And then I'm going to be left with 0.4, which again, awesome kind of works out because it means that all of these 6 points on this side, 6 points on this side, I'm going to have 0.2. I mean, obviously the thing about using this is there is wastage. Like even when I did my filler video, I think I had like a 1 mil needle injection, and it was kind of almost enough, but not quite. And it's not necessarily that I actually did need a bigger needle with more product. I just needed to not waste as much during it. Because obviously, you know, when I'm doing it, like even I think if I said in a video when I was doing it, it was oozing out and stuff. So there was like load of wastage going on. And that's just a practice and technique thing. Kind of get used to it. But anyway, this product should only come with a minimum of 2.2. Luckily, both of them have 2.4. So it kind of just depends how much yours has, if you do it. So, but thankfully, because it's got 2.4, I've got my 6 points on each side of my face, 0.2 mils in each one. And then I'll just do this, not that you can kind of see it. So the 2 here, 2 in that bit, 2 in the tragus, the mandibular, and the labial commissure. Oh, the jobby moustache. That's a really rubbish moustache, and I look mental. Right, so I'm now gonna go hurry up and wash this off before like the postman knocks on the door or something. That just looked mental. I'll have to pretend I've got kids or something. And then, so I'm gonna go wash this off, cleanse, put on some numbing cream. But for memory, these kind of weren't that sore anyway. But some of the reviews I did read or see it did sting a bit. So I mean, I'm not too sure. But at least then, so I'll go numb up for like half an hour, and I mean I'll record it anyway when I come back down. But oh yeah, one thing I was thinking when I was digging this out, my kind of box of stuff, is I do have like still loads of threads left, and I mean. Because in the big packet you get multiple little packets and they're all sealed and that, you know, I haven't cracked them open yet. But like someone in the comments did suggest that like your glabella is kind of more of a long-term project than a quick fix, which when I read kind of made complete sense. And actually right now, because I've got filler in there and Botox, it's a really good time to just chuck in a couple of small threads to help kind of slowly rebuild the structure while the kind of temporary scaffolding is there of the filler and the Botox, because my Botox is almost, literally it's running out fast now, so I think probably in a month I'll redo it. And but while all the filler and stuff is in there, because I watched a terrifying video about filler yesterday, about actually when they do like put someone who's had filler in MRI scans, and like 12 years later it's still there. I mean, because obviously, you know, filler's meant to like dissolve within 6 to 8 months, whatever, but it doesn't. It's there for years and years, especially because people don't tend to, the type of people that have these procedures aren't the type, they don't just rock up, have the one procedure and then never visit their aesthetic professional again. It's, you know, every few months. Plus even, you know, lip fillers and stuff. Obviously it's a business, they want people to come back as often as possible. So Susan comes rocking up, you know, every 5 months to try and get more filler, they're gonna give it to her, you know what I mean? And yeah, when I seen the MRI scans, it was just all so much white under here, and even like on here, all under the chin and stuff. And I think the tear trough filler, like when people have that, it ends up kind of shifting. This one woman like went blind because it went round behind, and so I need to make sure I do get some of that hyaluronidase, can't even say it, hyaluronidase to dissolve filler. And even then there was like comments on like the damage it does, because when it destroys hyaluronic acid, it doesn't just destroy the filler hyaluronic acid, it also destroys yours. So even that, but still it may have side effects, but it's a necessary thing because the damage filler can do when you have it over and over and over. So that video kind of opened my eyes a bit to make sure I'm not greedy with the filler and think, oh well, you know, 8 months later it's all dissolved, let's have some more. No, it doesn't. It stays there for years and years. So anyway, scary stuff, completely sidetracked. So anyway, I'm gonna wash all this wash all this mental stuff off my face, get some numbing cream on, and then do my 6 back points here, 6 here. Also, you're only meant to do 5 and 5, but I'm just gonna do 2 cheeky ones up here. And at least that's why I kind of wanted to measure it properly, as in like, so I knew like straight from the corner of my pupil, halfway up, and then stab it in, because if I bruise, then next time I do it, I can shift it. I'll know where to shift it a little bit. So I'm not just stabbing willy-nilly. I'm trying to remember exactly where I'm doing it, and then say here, because here, I think when I did the juvie eyes, I did get a slight bruise. There was somewhere. That's an annoying thing. I can't quite remember, but at least I know that if I'm be careful about where I stab, the next time shift the location. I mean, slightly. Still, the BAP technique is kind of, these points were picked because the chances of bruising and all that kind of stuff is kind of limited. So you don't want to kind of just shift it too much. Well, I have actually seen someone when it's in the BAP actually did one up here, but I'm not too sure if I'll do it, because I'll need to check my calendar to see, because even though I've done the 3 juvie treatments, I think they might do a top up in like 6 months. And I don't think it's been 6 months since I did it. I can't remember. But my under eyes are slightly creasy-ish recently. I might do, we'll see, because if you're gonna kind of do shift, because even say for example, if this did only have 2.2 in it, all I would do is these 2 points, reduce these a little bit, and then kind of redistribute it. So I might only do like maybe 0.1, 0.1, and then that would kind of free me up with 0.2, and I could put 0.2 here then, and 0.2 there. So kind of these two I could reduce a little bit and then move it. So yeah, I might do because in essence I've got 0.4 mils to play with, I might actually just do 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. So yeah, do my 5 points at 0.2, just to kind of, so they're all there, even though I could, redistribute it. Then I'm left with 0.4, and then I'll just do my two cheeky ones. So 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. And then see how we go. Yeah, I think I might do that. Yeah. So 5 0.2s, a 1 and a 1. And then same on the other side. Yes, that's what I'll do. Yes! Totally making it up as I go along. Not mine. Right, I'm gonna go hurry up and wash this face off because I look insane. And then chuck on the numbing cream. Bidawoo! So yesterday I injected the Syniro, probably. But anyway, yeah, and it's gone already. I mean, my face is still slightly puffy because I haven't actually been out of bed that long. But it's almost gone. Because I was kind of used to the feeling of the filler, and when I injected Hyaluron, which is a hyaluronic acid as well, but it's not cross-linked, so it's not filler or anything. And that's obviously very thick and gloopy and, big. You could feel it bulgy. But this Syniro, even like last night, within a few hours, it almost completely dissipated. And like when I injected it in, massive big bulge. But then my body just swallowed it up. So yeah, it kind of makes sense because hyaluronic acid is very thick and viscous, so it takes a while for your flesh to absorb it. But the Syniro, even though the viscosity felt relatively thick, getting it out of the needle, it clearly wasn't that thick because it's all practically gone. And when hats, I've just got out of bed and I can't be bothered, and I just want to do a quick video because after this I'm gonna do some threading. So I'm just going to do a wee smidgen because I've got loads of different threads of various sizes. So I'll just use some smaller ones, maybe some 12s or some 19s, and I'll just go like that. So that's the plan. On my glabella, I'll just put like 3 potentially, so 3 there and then 3 there to just kind of cross hatch it to give it a little bit of support. Because just now my check me laughing at my own jokes, know what I mean? The glabella has some temporary support in there. There's the temporary scaffolding of the filler and the Botox. So while there's some kind of stability in the region, I want to go with the long-term plan of chucking in a few threads, 4 months, 6 months, whatever, chuck in some more. I mean, like if I do this way this time, next time I might I suppose that's a bit pointless, but I'll go like that way, and then so at least over time, there's some very slow collagen production, the scaffolding is supporting each other. And then in between those, I'll probably I will definitely get more Botox, but I'll probably get more filler, but I'm going to try not put as much filler in as I can, because I'm not a massive fan. Well, a fan of the results, definitely, but just I think I said in that other video when I watched that video on the YouTube, I will link it in the chat actually, so that'd be quite handy if you are, not in the chat, in the description box. Oh, music, I have to try and find it. I'm sure I'll find it. But just because I was bouncing around and I kind of happened to see it. But yeah, there's a thriller, I was going to say, a video on the long-term kind of effects of filler and the MRI scans they did that showed that it's in the body, over a decade later, it's still there, even the person who did no filler. But I mean, that's not potentially people like me who have it done, once in a blue moon. It's the people who have it done on the reg, every 6 months, more filler, more filler, more filler. And then if they want a reboot, they'll dissolve the filler to reset the lips, and then just put in more filler to put in the newest lip TikTok trend shape of lips or whatever rubbish. But anyway, even still for me, and because I'm there, it is obviously close to the orbit of my eye, which I'm wary of, but at least I did use the very thick filler, so movement at least should hopefully be minimal, but still it was quite a very, very scary video. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yes, so the threading. So yeah, I'm just gonna chuck in some threads after this week video, because as well my camera has about 8% battery life, so let's see if we make it. And I'll yeah, after this, then I'll obviously prep on my area, chuck on some like numbing cream for like half an hour, and then do some threading. I might as well just record the threading actually. I'll just like tack it onto the end of this video. I won't do like a separate one or anything, because I mean it's, but from memory I think when I threaded this ages ago, well I say ages, potentially 6 months ago maybe? I don't know. There is a video on the here of when I did it. I just can't remember. But all the procedures I do, I put in my calendar. It's the only thing I do put in my calendar is all the procedures. I don't care about the rest of the stuff in my life. But at least because I know my memory is so vague and bad, I need to remember when I've done things to make sure that they're timed appropriately and I'm giving each, you know, because you can't do filler within, you know, X amount of time of Botox and, you know, microneedle it, you know, everything had to kind of be spaced apart. But anyway, I'm going to do some threading. I'll just tack it onto the end of this video, and yeah, so I don't think we actually went through what the Syniro actually is. And so I've got there's like 5 images I got from their website, which explains what's in it far better than I could. So we can kind of just run through them. Let's put on my specs. Oh, you can see my big light. Oh yeah. So rubbish. Right. So the first image then is. I'm not going to go through reading it all because it's not, it's just a marketing blurb, but I mean it's there on the screen if you want to read it. What's next? Oh yeah, so that just says it's the polydeoxyribonucleotide, just says what it does, removes damaged area of cells, strengthens the metabolic processes, strengthens the production of hyaluronic acid, fibroblasts, or of collagen and elastin. So that's just how it kind of speeds up shiz. The other bit's just, you know, why they use salmon DNA, it's, you know, just because it's similar to ours. What's next? That just says it's got niacinamide in it. And here, the main clinical effects, this is what we want to know. So, improving skin elasticity and hydration, reduction of fine lines. Oh, check me just making stuff up. Reduction of fine wrinkles, improving the barrier function of the skin, normalization of the structure, regulation of sebum production. That's quite good because my skin does get kind of oily sometimes. It's weird, it's kind of dry sometimes and then oily sometimes. Especially if I go out clubbing or whatever, like take me clubbing like I'm some youth. If I go out, then I do normally get very, very shiny. It doesn't matter what kind of makeup or powder I've got on, I get very shiny and it's quite stressful. Anyway, and improving skin tone, improving skin texture. So all very good stuff. There's the contraindication. No, sorry, not the contraindication. There is actually no. Yeah, there is no contraindications, and there wasn't actually a manual inside either. You know, like listen, like side effects and stuff. There was nothing in there. There was just a thing telling you to apply it to the skin, as in like liquid, like topically. But yeah, like whatever. But anyway, the indications for procedures. Prevention and treatment of chrono aging, hyperpigmentation of the skin, scars, post-acne, pathological hair loss, because you can inject it in your head. Although pathological hair loss sounds a bit extreme, you just imagine some very angry person pulling their hair. But, skin restoration after ablative laser procedures, so it's good that if you do certain other procedures, you can kind of do this after or before. So that I watched this one video and she was doing it, she does this before, the day before she goes to do her like laser treatment because it'll kind of help speed up the healing. And finally, rejuvenation and regeneration of the skin of the face, neck, décolletage, hands and body. Down the bottom just showing you how to do it. I googled that napaz actually, and there was like nothing on the planet called that. So I think the closest I found was something called nappage, and that's just the mesoin thing where I think, you know, you kind of just inject all over your face. But yeah, nappage was the closest I could find to it. I could find nothing called napaz, so I've got no idea what that is. And then obviously, so anyway, you can microneedle it as well, but I just lay-bapped it. And the final image shows you the skin, so activates your own processes of rejuvenation, restores the skin's pH, and it has a prolonging effect. Which doesn't quite. I mean, the use of English is a bit odd, but I think I know where it's getting at. But anyway, you can see the image on the left, especially on the kind of the base layer and the fatty cells, on the left it's all kind of wibbly wobbly woo, and then on the right it's straight. As far as I can make out from the picture, there's no increases or decreases in anything in particular. It looks like it's just smoothing shiz out. So the fat and the kind of, the bottom of the epidermis. But still, so we'll see, because I backed it, because you'll see in the video anyway, so I kind of put in, oh weirdly as well, like here, I was having major problems. Like when I backed here before, I had no bother at all, but when I went in here, I just couldn't seem to get it out, and I didn't want to force it, so if my body's saying that there's no room in there's no, pocket, it doesn't want to come out, so I just kept kind of moving it around a bit. Eventually, I think I managed to get it in here, which is quite far away from here. Well, not that far, but in here, my body was just saying no thank you, so I just kind of moved it around a could, and then here, eventually it all just went in. Here was fine, here was fine, here was fine, and here, luckily I didn't get any like bruising, because here you are quite, prone, it's quite delicate, so you're kind of prone to bruising, but luckily I avoided it. I injected some in here as well. My forehead, oh, got a stupid hat. I did kind of here, and then here. Yeah, because we here as well, I didn't want to go too close to the filler, even though the filler was over a month ago, so I'm sure it's fine, it's all settled down, but I still didn't want to interrupt it. I say that, but I'm just about to do threading. Girl, make up your mind. But still, yeah, it was over a month ago, but still, I was just like, it's liquid, so I was just like, bleh. But so yeah, I did here, the 2 points there, and then because I had that wee smidgen left, I think I just kind of did little dots, just little kind of smidgy bits. So yeah, in essence, I just did the BAP, but because I did, there was 2.4 mils in the needle, and so I did 0.2 mils in the 5 BAP points. If I can make my hands go to that shape, and then I did just a smidgen here, smidgen there, smidgen there. I used up in essence the remainder of the 0.4 kind of in that area, and then just did a wee cheeky bit there. But still good, it kind of washed away really quickly, which means unlike the Hyron, which it was kind of evident in my face for a wee while, with this procedure, at least I know I can definitely try and schedule it every 2 weeks. Because, to be fair, with my job and my face, it's not like I need to hide the fact I'm doing stuff to my face, you know what I mean? But it's still handy to know that if I had an event or something coming up, this isn't gonna, be noticeable or anything. So yep, so that was the Syniro. I didn't do a follow-up because normally I was planning on just like maybe waiting a week or two and then doing this bit so you could see the results, but because I intend on repeating the procedure in 2 weeks anyway, I figured that's a good point to kind of condense the videos a wee bit. So in 2 weeks I'll do another Syniro procedure, but at least at that point I can discuss what, if any, kind of improvements I've seen to my skin. So yep, c'est la vie. So now I'm going to go and lube up my head and leave it for half an hour with the numbing cream and dig out some threads, decide what sizes I'm going to do, because I think most of mine are quite big, giggity. But I know I do have some 12s, 18s and 19s, I think. And the 19mm might be a wee bit too big. Don't know. No, I think it's probably, yeah, because the 12s are probably too small actually, because I think initially I got the 12s when I did my lips, and they are super, super small. So yeah, I think I'll do see how much of the 18s and 19s I've got. Another ones are 25mm, and 25s are probably a bit big. But you never know, to improve the scaffolding, it might be best, like if I'm going to go 3 and 3, is actually make the middle two 25s, and the other two that are on either side 19s, so it's kind of a bit longer, so it'll make, rather than the scaffolding being like that, which might be a bit more fragile, if the kind of the middle bits are a bit longer. Now I just look like I've got arthritis, but you know what I mean, so adding that kind of extra dimension might stabilise things a little bit more as well, just help it a smidgen, who knows. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll chuck in some 25s in the centre, and then I'll just add some like 19s there and some 19s there. But we'll see, I might end up only doing like 2 and 2. Because from memory as well, I think this bit is quite bleedy, because you've got like arteries right under here that kind of fan up the chances of stabbing them, and here, I think, can't really see it, but I think here I've got a big vein, like a real kind of bad boy vein. It's not, you know, the arteries that are coming up here that kind of web out, but an actual just big pulsy vein. So like, I'll just need to do some like running things. Take me not even knowing what the word for a particular exercise is, shows you how much I do it. But yeah, just so at least then I'll kind of get my blood pressure going, so at least I can see the vein, so I know where not to stab. But I did stab it before when I did threading, and it was fine. I mean, it bleeded like a kind of, or bled, sorry, like a bad boy. You can tell I'm British because I can't speak English. and it bled, but then it was kind of fine, you know, it didn't bruise or anything, thankfully. But anyway, right, so I'm going to go and do some numbing cream and then get some threading done. And then I won't do any more talky bits or anything, because I'll just do some... Actually, if I've got time, I might just chuck the threading video in the corner while I'm doing this bit, make the video a bit shorter, save your life. Right, anyway, bye-bye!